Hey everyone, and welcome to the horror at Highrook. Today we are taking a look at the demo for this horror mystery. At the request of the City Council, a versatile team of occult investigators has been put together to investigate the disappearance of Lord Acheron and his family. The Horror of Highrook is a story-heavy, Lovecraft-inspired card game in which you take control of several investigators, each bringing different skills and strengths to the party. It's up to you how to best use your character's skill set to find out what happened to the family. You do this by appointing your characters to specific tasks in each of the rooms throughout the manor. As you explore more and more, we'll find journals, documents and items that'll bit by bit reveal what's actually been going on. As always, if this game is something you want to see on the channel, leave a like or a comment to let me know. Without any further ado, let's try the Horror at Highrook. So, I did play this through once before. It took me a little bit more than an hour. I am not sure if we will be able to actually complete everything today. It is a story-heavy game, so that'll be a lot of reading. But let's just see how far we get. We'll get a quick idea. We'll get an idea very quickly of how it works, at least. We'll start with a bit of lore here of the Highrook estate. Highrook, an aristocratic eyrie of cold rock and rain. A melancholy shadow overlooking Black Sands port. At the summit of its grey cliffs lies the crumbling edifice of Acheron House. The Acheron family. Once respected by the city elite, the Acheron family fell from grace to become the subject of snide remarks and scornful whispers. Lord Acheron was a prominent book collector whose increasing interest in the occult saw him driven from respected academic practice. It is rumored he turned to the Seeker's Communion for support shortly before his family enigmatic disappearance. The Seeker's Communion. The Seeker Communion is a shady organization of mystics, seers, and exiled scholars. This clandestine group supports occult practice across the city and facilities of black market for arcane goods. And facilitates a black market for arcane goods. Officially banned by Black Sands Council, the collective continues its work in secret. Council investigation. The vanishing of a noble house, however disfavored, cannot go unexamined by the council. The Black Sands mayor, Lord Alliston, has commissioned a cross-guild team to investigate. A dilapidated stagecoach dilapidated? I don't know how to say that. Stagecoach deposits the party at Highrook. The rain echoes eerily throughout the empty halls. Okay, let's get into the game here. Chapter 1. We hide in the shadows of the world beyond, for its light would surely blind us. Adage of the Deep Spire Church. Okay, so we do get a quick guide here that we can read through. We are not going to read through it because you can, but the game actually even suggests that you don't actually have to read this. You can just kind of figure it out on your own. And in all fairness, I read through it, and it's not like too difficult to actually figure out on your own. But we'll go through it a bit by bit here. So the game is constantly running. You can pause if you want to. I haven't necessarily yet at least found any dire need to either pause or unpause. You will find some items that can expire, but there'll also be negative buffs that'll slowly run out. So in general, I don't think there's too much reason yet, at least to pause. So we start with 3 investigators here, and we have a couple of things with us. Every time we see something like this, it is something we have to click to continue the story, and we can't do anything else. So every time we see this is what we're doing. So for now, let's open the council missive. Dear investigators, by order of the High Council, you are granted license to commandeer Highrook Manor and its associated facilities. You are to investigate the disappearance of the Acheron family, the owners of the estate, who were reported missing several days ago. The Acherons were well known in the city, and their vanishing is concerning, especially considering rumored affiliation with the Seekers Communion. Please treat any evidence you might find as confidential and report immediately to the Council when your task is complete. A news report is included to provide further context on this unusual event. Lord Mayor Alliston. Okay, we have Scholar Vitali. I see that Mayor Alliston is as conceited as always. His presumption that all city events require his oversight is so tiresome. At the Blackhurst College, we are driven by knowledge, not ego. I suspect that my guild has been involved more for political point scoring than out of respect for our learning. Mechanist Astor. Indeed, Vitali. I am equally tired of Allison's petty machinations. But the High Council provides us with the bulk of our funding, and as such, we are obliged to respond. At least they have provided us with some tools to begin our work. We should take the supply crate to the machine room where I can extract its contents. Then we have Atticus Hawk. I'll leave the books and the politics to you fellows. I am paid to act, not think. I don't trust bookworms like this Acheron chap, or his supposed mates, the Seekers Communion. Sticking their noses where they shouldn't, asking for trouble. Spoken like a true Aldwerther. Don't worry, my friend, you will be away from the books and back at the docks before you can blink. If you can blink. We have no time for squabbles. Our remaining colleague, a doctor from Canecross, will be joining us tomorrow, and we should prepare for her arrival. We should proceed logically. Once we have unpacked the supply crate, we can begin to survey the area and establish what facilities are still functional. Okay, well, a quick overview. We can see there's a bunch of different rooms. All this that is revealed is what we have access to at the moment. We have a machine room, we have a cliff top, we have the kitchen, we have the atrium, dining room, and the archives, plus the guest room up here. What we don't have access to is the schoolroom, the child's room, study, laboratory, forge, servant's room, chapel, lord's chamber, and the caves. All of these is something that we can unlock as we explore. We can find the. I think we need a code to access all these rooms. So it's something we'll slowly find as we go on. Each document like this we can send to records so they don't take up space. We also have the Senville Gazette. Let's just read through this real quick. A vanishing at Highrook. The Acheron family, one of the city's more notable houses, have disappeared under suspicious circumstances. A delivery boy from Direwich Market discovered the family's absence when he arrived at their Clifftop Manor a week ago. Entering the building, he found the property abandoned and in disarray, as if witness to a violent storm. The Acherons were nowhere to be found, and their servants, a maid and a warden, were also missing. The High Council announced that it has commissioned a cross-guild team to investigate this disturbing disappearance. Okay, let's click the supply crate. This is a task card, which means it can be used in one of the rooms. Here at the bottom we can see what it requires. This requires the wrench, which we can see is the machine room. So what we can do is we can place it on top of the cog icon right here. Yoink. And then we can grab one of our investigators that has the ability to work in the machine room, which in this case is Atticus Hawk, and I believe also Mechanist Astor. Yeah, she was the one that actually mentioned that she would go work on it, which is just fine. Let's put her to work. They need to be in the same room. Then we can click on the room and we can start the task. We can see here an overview of what we have. The task card is a supply crate. It requires one skill, which Mechanist Asta has. She has skill level 1. So we don't need any support cards yet, which we haven't found. We'll get to that when we do. So for now, we'll just have her start on the supply crate. So Atticus Hawk, he can also work over here in the cliff top. So he might as well start exploring on his own. I don't think he... Actually, we cannot. We still need something. So I guess we are waiting for now for the supply crate. So let's unpause as we do that. The Scholar, he can work in the archives. And he can work in the guest room as well, where they need to sleep. And in the dining room, where they need to eat. They can all... I believe they all... Actually, she cannot work in the dining room. So I guess she'll have to have some help in preparing a meal. So we got an equipment note. The following items have been packaged and assigned to your team. Please use them as instructed. We got a spyglass. That's something we can use on the cliff top. We got a night lamp, which we can see it is purple, and it's kind of indicating where it goes. But if we click it here, we can see it requires dreams. It requires 0. So that actually means, I think, even you could probably start the task here of sleeping. Yes. So I'm guessing that food, etc. I actually never checked, but they probably doesn't require any skill per se. But she can eat on her own, hopefully. We got a spyglass we can use down here, so we might as well put him to use. A pair of ornate binoculars composed of burnished brass fittings and oil-smudged leather. The lenses stain the world as a watery blue, but their magnification and focus are impressive. We can use this item to help us explore the cliffs surrounding the house. I'll try to keep stuff like this, like task cards, etc., to a minimum, unless it's story-based, because otherwise we'll never get through this today. But the library codex goes in here. We do have some stats down here. We can see this one is unique and it has infinite use. So this one we can do again and again and again. I think it's the same with the night lamp. Yes, infinite use, and with the spyglass. Okay, please let me move. Thank you. And let's send, we've got the night lamp and the library codex. Let's send this to records and let's start. They are already on it. Excellent. We can meanwhile check out our characters real quick. They have some skills, as we saw, and they have some vitals. Injury, fatigue, madness, and hunger. Fatigue goes up as they do tasks. Hunger goes up over time, I believe. And madness and injury will go up when conditions are met. So, let's see here. What did we get? We got a dream candle, which requires skill 2 in dreams. Which means at the moment, I don't believe we can do this, because everyone has skill 1 in everything they can do. And we don't have any support cards yet. So at the moment, you can actually try and see here, we do not meet the requirements. So we need 2, but we only have the 1. We did find the study code, which means we can put Mechanist Astor here to work again, and we can open up the study. Let's just have you study more in the archives here. You did find some moon grain and a raven's cap. The raven's cap is something we can eat, and it might give us a support card. So let's see if we do that. It might also spawn something nasty in the dining room, but we'll see. Very nice. We opened up the study, and as we can see, we need to read the Lord's note to continue. To whoever finds this note, do not follow my path. You will not find us. We will be beyond this place. They have their threads in us, all of us. They pull and we cannot resist. Before it's too late, I will clear the trail behind us, close all the doors that I can, and I beseech you, do not follow. I have made such errors of judgment, such acts of vanity and greed, and for what? How cryptic, a clear warning, but with such vague references. What does beyond this place mean? Who are the unnamed aggressors? It is difficult to decipher such an emotional outcry. It could be that this note is simply the ramblings of a paranoia and isolation, resulting from a more mundane tragedy. There must be a rational explanation. I ain't no detective, but perhaps the Lord himself was up to no good, and this is him trying to cover his tracks. He could be trying to frame someone else for the disappearance. Or perhaps his books have just addled his mind, and he's spouting bilge. Do not be so quick to judge. Lord Acheron was an accomplished academic. I don't think we can simply dismiss his writings as the babblings of a madman. There is likely truth in his words, but we must conduct further research before we can interpret this message correctly. Well, we got access to the study, which we can't really use for much for now, but that's okay. Let's have her... Okay, so unfortunately we failed this one, so we now have an air of nausea in the dining room, which actually I believe increases the injury level of nearby characters every hour. So for the next 12 hours we would like to stay out of the dining room, but if not, it's not the word, it's not like, not horrendous. We'll have him use the moon grain, we can cook something up. You found some tea spices, very nice. We also found a battery, which is a support card for the machine room. Down here we can see provides devices 1. We can maximum have 1 on board, and it is a single use. So for now, let's put it over here next to the machine room, and we'll have you continue the work down here. I think for us to continue the story, we need to do the dream candle here, which means we need to find something that that helps with our dream skill. Not something like that, but I guess we will try this one again. I believe this can give... Yeah, this can give an inspiration to the dreams. We got a cryptic text, which is something we can use in the study. A passage or two of ancient prose, making references to the house and something beneath or beyond. It is clearly of some importance, but written in a language that requires further study to decipher. We'll find quite a few of these. Let's start that. Let's read the journal here. The Lord's Journal. The dream candles are working. Last night I had a vision of the Atlaxian bell. It was half buried in the ashen sand of the undercoves. I sent Simon down to retrieve it. My old eyes are worse than his, and he loves to explore the caves. The bell was deep, in the depths where the itches roam. But he returned with the relic. Surely now I can complete the first steps of my journey. I feel guilt for putting my son at risk. But when we are blessed by the Pale King, he will protect us all from harm, both in this world and the next. I hope that Simon and my dear wife Sophia will understand that some sacrifices might be required to obtain this favor. So I guess that's him telling us, or the game telling us, that we indeed do need to use the dream candles. We got a gift of the owl, which is a bonus to the study, so unfortunately not exactly what we are looking for. That's okay though. Let's have you... Can you cook? You can. Let's have you cook some meat. We made some moonshine. Store that in there, I suppose. There should be some music. Yeah, it's at max. Hopefully you'll hear something. It's very quiet for me, at least. Okay, we got some more. We got the Pale King. The Pale King's domain is the beyond the river of dusk, the twilight before the oblivion of night. By drawing his territory here, he escapes death, residing alone in the leaves of autumn, watching as all other pass by into the endless snow of winter. There are many doors to the Pale King's house: the hollowed arch of Greyhaven, the well of Marusa, the crystal heart of Persepolis. Each of these gates may be opened with the right words and offerings. The right of the key and the deep iron bell can summon the locksmith. But beware, traveler, for the paths to the Pale King's domain are too steep to retrace. Well, back to the archives with you. We got a basic meal that will expire. We got some rendered fat that I know is used in the laboratory, but we don't have access to that at the moment. Go ahead and make some tea as well and read Simon's journal. That was the son of the Lord. Pa made me go into some horrible... made me get some horrible old bell from the undercoves, down where you can hear the sea. It was scary. I think maybe the ocean folk left it for him. It was all wrapped up in red cloth. Pa said not to look at it, but I did. It was made of real old metal, like a dirty pan. And it had foreign words on it that moved like spiders. When I touched the words, it made my arm hurt. Pa took it at the chapel and he rings it at night and talks to himself. Sometimes he howls, and I worry it is hurting him like it hurt me. I hate it. I want to get rid of it, but Pa says no. Pa gets mad when I go near his drawings, and I worry. And drawings and words, so I'm playing outside now mostly. I don't mind though. I don't feel very well today. Okay. Well, Simon is not feeling super up to it after touching the bell. I guess when you fiddle with arcane stuff, that's what you get. A seeker's letter. Your efforts have been noticed, Thomas. You are new to the circle and early in your instruction, yet we see great potential in your work. Your library is significant, yet you lack the tools that might enable you to progress further in your experiments. Your neophyte status bars you from accessing our own inventory, but the location of your property might provide you with your own resources. As you are aware, Highrook was built atop the ancient undercoves and at the terminus of various smuggling routes. We believe that occult items may still lie within the darkened chambers below your house, forgotten stashes of lost contraband. Our advice would be to scour these caves and recover what relics you can. The communion. Okay, maybe that's how he found the bell, I'm not sure. I don't think so though. It sounded like his dad sent him in there very specifically for it, so he knew it was there. Let's try this one again. Alt, that is also a support for the study. Get this one over there. Cryptic text 2, that requires a secondary... It requires some support, which luckily we do have. We got another cryptic text. We did get a gift of the moth. That's very nice. That means we can now go ahead and do this. Does anyone else have access to dreams? No, just the scholar, so we'll have to wait for him to finish. Let's move you out because there's still an air of nausea in there. You might as well make some moonshine. You are doing this, right? Yes, just can't see it. Let's I guess it's bit in the way now. Let's move it like this because we don't have access to the chapel yet. And then we'll deal with it as we go. I guess as long as we can see the number there, that's what matters, right? Okay, we got a chemical worksheet. That is a support item for this one. I believe that is the laboratory, which we don't have access to yet, but we will in the demo. I'm not sure if we will get access to it today. Let's drink some owl tea as we do this secondary one. No, I forgot. We needed to go in here. That's fine. That's fine. I'm sure we'll do it. Air of nauseous. Okay, fair enough. Got a tracker's guide. That is support for the cliff. Well, now let's get you in here. Let's see, total of 2, yes. Let's see, you have 71% fatigue, so you definitely need to rest. You have 61, so you can rest as well. The good thing is that if when anyone eats or sleeps, everyone in the room gets the benefit as well. So I think let's wait until she's done, so she can get benefit of the sleep as well. I think we can start it, as long as she's there when it finishes. I think it should be good, but... something like that. Let's see. So they all be fresh. And here we have Dr. Something Something joins us on day 2, as they did warn us about. Dr. Gallagher, apologies for my late arrival. I had to visit a patient in Direwitch and couldn't journey to Highrook until this morning. The fellow in question had developed Calxen's compliance, bones like rubber. Fascinating. Coincidentally, my guild was summoned here some weeks ago to examine the Acheron's son. Unfortunately, my colleagues were unable to diagnose the strange ailment he was suffering from. Greetings, Dr. Gallagher. Your late arrival is of no matter. We have barely unpacked our own equipment. The mansion is somewhat disturbed and various chambers are inaccessible, sealed with mechanized locks. I do believe that one of these locations might house a simple laboratory that you could make make use of when we gain access. Greetings, Miss Callagher. I think you fixed up me and my crew in Aldworth last springtide. Nasty case of keel fever. Saves us from a night wrecking, you might say. From a right wrecking, you might say. I was in a bad way myself, and I recall you sorted me out. If you need any alchemy supplies or help with shifting stuff, just let me know. Okay, well, at the moment, we can't do too much with her. Laboratory-wise at least, but she also works in the archives. She's kind of similar to the scholar, so let's get her working on that. I guess maybe we should have started in the study, but that's okay. We can do that with Scholar Vitali afterwards. Let's see here. Our first dream candle, we can find quite a few. Is this one? Yeah, max 1 on board, so we want to do these as soon as possible so we can get new ones. Restless dreams, but some energy returns. Visions of a lost toy. It's a task card. Okay. I am woken by the sounds of the Acheron's son playing. He holds a clockwork mobile in his hand. Its softly glowing lights cast a planetarium-like light across the darkened machine room. Even in the faint light of the device, his skin appears dark and he stops frequently to cough and wheeze. A noise from outside the chamber stops his play and he clutches the device to his chest. The shadow of an approaching figure flows like a murky tide onto the floor. The boy panics and stuffs the mobile in a crowded drawer. The door to the room opens and a silhouette strides in, framed in the light of the hall. The boy turns away, blinking away the brightness. Well, that is for you to figure out. It's just the one. Actually requires 0, so you can start. And did you start there? You did not. We can have you start down here then. We have one of these we want to do maybe once the nausea is gone. Got another dream candle. Very nice. Got a Moorlands mobile. Support provides 1 dreams. It is unique and infinite use. It is upgradable, which I have no idea how to do, and I don't think... Maybe it's something we get access to in the Forge, but that's not something we'll get access to in the demo. Okay, the Moorlands mobile. That was the thing that Simon hid. A miniature orrery driven by a delicate clockwork engine. This elegant mobile is built from a set of interlocked halos, decorated with soft luminescent points. Its movement is hypnotic, and its lights generate a soothing, womb-like aura. Ada Morland was a Black Sands aristocrat known for 2 things: her exquisite sculpture and her 13 children. A recipient of multiple twins and triplets, Morland soon turned her craft to the design of sleep mobiles for obvious reasons. Yeah, I was about to say. It was rumored that Morland's design incorporated elements of occult sacred geometries that enhanced the calmative action of the device, or the calmative action of the device. Okay, that's very nice. Now we have permanent +1 up here, so we can easily, at least easier, do the dream candle, which honestly we probably should do straight away, since we can only have the one. Also got the Pale King, the next bit here. The sun is fixed at the horizon. Its rays reach out to hold back the falling sky. All is quiet in the Pale Kingdom, like frozen dust motes in the evening air, ever waiting, never falling. A place to wait of the end of time. His acolytes are legion, born of the Vales. They seek without sight, reaching out to spread his word. Many offer fealty to cross the river of dusk, but not all are worthy. Those that fall at the threshold are displaced into dreams and manifestations. Okay, well, you got another cryptic text. I guess we go ahead and do that. We got the lab code as well. That requires 2 skill here, so we'll use the battery. And we will use the Gift of the Owl to do a cryptic text 2 as well. Vision of a theft. I am in the study. The flickering candlelight dances across the walls and the smell of parchment fills the air. A figure, the groundskeeper, is standing nervously at the desk before me. He holds something in his right hand, a small card perforated with machine patterns. Looking down, distraught and muttering, he scribbles a short note and wraps it around the card. He stalks from the room and my vision follows him like a trailing cloak. He enters the kitchen and places the card on a high shelf, hidden from view, before turning to leave the room. The last embers in the stove wink out and I awake with a shiver. Okay, well, Atticus Hawk, you have your next task as soon as you're done making some moonshine. Lab is now unlocked. We got Simon's Journal Part 2. I am getting more sick every day. The cold I caught from the undercoats makes my head hurt and my skin itch like ants, and I feel so tired. I'm writing this sitting in the medicine room waiting for Amy to make me a special sleepy drink. I really don't like being so sick. Maybe the bell has put a curse on me or something. Anyway, Pa doesn't seem to care. He is still singing his sad songs in the chapel. I can hear him from my room sometimes. I hope he doesn't get ill. I don't want it to curse him too. Amy says it's best not to talk to him about it at the moment though. She says he's been all quiet and grumpy of late. Not like his normal self. This note only confirms what I already suspected. Simon, the Akron's son, was unwittingly involved in his father's occult investigations. The poor soul appears to have contracted some terrible otherworldly malady in the process. No wonder my colleagues could not identify the cause of his illness. I only wish that I had chance to examine his condition. His description of the pain is most intriguing. The poor mite. His father is nothing but a coward, sending his kid into such peril. Men of learning need to learn their responsibilities. Meddling in such dark stuff and including your own son in the bargain is shameful. And yet these bookworms scoff at us dox folk for our ignorance. Atticus, it is not our role to judge Lord Acheron's morals, simply to follow his trail. I agree that his actions were questionable, but we ourselves must be willing to make sacrifices in his pursuit. I think we can now assume that the son's illness was supernatural in origin. We should try to find more of the Lord's occult tools to discover how far he progressed in his studies. Okay, away we go. What is this? This is Irving's eyepiece as a support for the archives. It is infinite use, so I guess we might as well go ahead and put it in the archive straight away. This is not something I believe we're going to get to use. I don't think we're going to find a better library codex in the demo here. But for now, let's go ahead and check out this vision of a theft. Let's find whatever the groundskeeper was hiding. You are studying an echo. Okay, let's get out of here. I think that's a bad thing. Increases the madness level of nearby characters every hour. Yeah, let's move you to something else. Can I? Oh, right. This is here right now, so we have to click this. The opening eye. A rite to usher in a vision of the veils. Draw a window arch upon the wall in white chalk. Circumscribe the form in a circle, and at the apex of the arch, draw a 12-point star. I don't know if it's arch or arc. With your forehead pressed against the star, sing the song of the autumn key. Hold the edges of the frame, stare beyond the wall without blinking until tears drop to the floor. Then close your eyes, close your mind, and open the window. This text is fascinating. It also suggests that Lord Acheron might have, maybe, more rites hidden in his archives. The target of this particular incantation is the otherworldly plane of the Veils. It is a shadowy domain beyond our world, frequently referenced in occult lore, and described as a barren land bordered by an ashen shore, home to the elders and their entourage. It may seem hazardous, I propose that we conduct this rite. The ritual itself is an incantation of limited power. It creates a window rather than a bridge to the Veils. So even if our attempt succeeds, we will be safe from harm and his side of the ethereal division. Whatever the result, we will surely learn more about the family's fate. I'd wager the Lord was driven mad by the magic such as this, if he weren't already insane. These rituals should be burned, not executed. The state of this house and the absence of its owners surely proves that. We should leave these fools to their fate. I hear you, Atticus, but the family may still be reachable, somehow, and my guild oath demands that I do my utmost to locate and protect them. If you trusted my judgment during the keel fever epidemic, then please remain fast with us now. Aye, Miss Gallagher, your knowledge and application soars through that outbreak. I remember your calm hands, even amongst the charnel mounds. I am not happy with this situation, but I will continue to assist for now. For you. Okay, we need to get you out of there. There's no reason for you to be in there with an echo. We're still working on this. This is something to be used in the chapel, I believe. So for now, we cannot put it in there. That's fine. We'll put it there. Well, we might as well put you to good use in here. We have some healing sprig, so let's... Oh, you're tired. Okay. One thing to note, by the way, is as soon as you click the start, you cannot cancel it. So you'll just have to go with it. Got a battery. That's for the machine room. Got another cryptic text. How are the rest? You're fine. You're 11%. You're 77. So you kind of need to sleep. The rest is honestly all good. You can use the... Not that. Use the night lamp. Got the Warden's Journal. Okay. Right, that's what we were trying to do. Actually, we do get access to the forge. Okay. I have took the Master's code card for the forge. There's something wrong in that place. I have served here near on 10 years, and in all that time the forge has been closed. It was some sort of pagan worship built long before the house itself. I reckon them seekers told the Masters to reopen it. He ain't no smith, but I've seen him feeding things to the fire, trying to fix up tools or coat stuff in quicksilver. There's something odd about that place, and the things he comes out with aren't quite right. Amy found Summit there the other day, an odd mirror thing. It made her dizzy and she damn near fell into the furnace. So I took the code card and hid it here. If you find this, dear daughter, or anyone, I tell you, leave that room alone. Well, honestly, apparently we have to wait a couple of hours here before we can actually do anything about it, which is a bit of a shame. You go ahead and cook some food. I don't believe we can drop anything on top of it. No. Okay, he's exhausted. That's fair. That means this is probably gonna run out, but you need to sleep. For sure. You're not doing anything, so you might as well get up there. You can get up there as well. Just because, why not? And if we're quick, we might get you up there as well, just to get some sleep. And there we go. Gift of the monkey. Okay. That's a support for the machine room. Why not? Single use. We can now go back there. Let's do that. Right, you actually need a support. That's okay. We will grab the... Yeah, we'll grab the battery. I don't think it matters too much. Let's see with you. This is going to run out before you finish and then it'll fail. I tried it. That requires a... never mind. I just need to put it in the right place. Forge has been unlocked. Right, I remember that we get the Spyglass 3. Not sure where the second one is. And it's not something we can use at all at the moment because it requires skill 3. Even with the support, we can only get to 2 at the moment. Okay, let's see. You can start this. And I suppose you can go make some tea. You can scout, I suppose. We have one of these that we also should do. We got ourselves some drowsy vapors. It's a support for the The guest room, fair enough. Let's do this. This requires skill 2. Yes, it is a glinting syringe. Okay, a bright needle winks under a stained glass cylinder. A medical hypodermic commonly used to extract or inoculate the blood. Its dirty tube makes it hard to tell which of these it was used for last. Okay. Let's see. We probably have to do more in the archives. Yeah, let's do that. Maybe we'll find something. LT. You get that's up here in the study. Blood vial. Okay, support for the chapel. Good, we need that. We need to get up to 3, so we actually need more than just the blood vial. Can you do it again? It looks like you can, but we need help. That's okay. You're not doing anything, so you might as well scout a little bit more. What is that? That is an echo. A shadow of a child is here. Sometimes his presence flickers like a candle. Increase the madness level of nearby characters every hour. Okay, well, we got another dream candle. That's good. Let's do that. Does anyone need to sleep? Yeah, not necessarily. 22%. You're probably good. It's fine. Let's Gift of the Owl. That's up here as well. You might as well get up there. You're not doing anything, so you might as well do it as well. Not sure if we can make it with Mechanist here. We should be able to. A ruined pot. Requires mysteries too. Okay. An old pot unearthed from the pile of debris abandoned on the cliff tops. Its mud-smeared surface displays mysterious runic markings. It might be useful for something if we can discover its provenance. Okay, well, let's get on that straight away. You should be able to do that. Yes, perfect. We got a vision of a lost card. A vision drawn from a dream, hastily recorded on torn notepaper. I am adrift in the air, like a mote or a myth. Suspended in the fragrant air of the dining room. Someone has been drinking. A tired-looking man in a crumpled gown and broken spectacles. Lord Acheron. He sighs, wiping something from his eyes as he places a card on the table in front of the ragged journal. The card is inscribed with some sort of machine code. He places it loosely into the journal and finishes his drink. Stumbling to his feet, he knocks the book and the card falls from its pages, drifting below the table and settling under a grubby rock. Okay, well, that's in the dining room. Let's get you down there and do that. Perfect. Get access to the chapel now. That's great. You need to go down here. Yeah, there we go. Chapel code. You require a task 2, so we need some support. Luckily, we have a gift of the monkey. Let's do that. We also got the launch journal too. I have, excuse me. I have the iron bell and the words to accompany it. But at what cost? My son brought more than just the relic back from the shore. He is afflicted with some wasting disease. He is becoming so frail and hollow that I fear he may not live out this month. Of course, the doctors at Cane Cross cannot help with their mundane curatives. The ailment is clearly not of this world. I wonder then if the seed of this poison is from beyond the veil. Then perhaps the cure is also. I am sealing the chapel, just as I have closed the laboratory and will likely need to close more chambers. I cannot risk anyone else coming into contact with harmful magics. Unmat's pot. Okay, support for the kitchen. Infinite use, upgradable. Very nice. Not sure we have anything that we need that for yet, but we have it at least. Okay, Lord's Journal Part 3. Oh, Simon, Sophia, I am sorry. My dreams of escape have only led to us being trapped here, tormented by the very demons I called upon for aid. The communion claims I can still find a path through the veils, but I am so tired and things are becoming untethered. The locksmith will not speak to me, and I think Simon stole the bell and hid it before. But it doesn't matter. It's beyond that now. This morning the broodmother's children came again, writhing putrid grubs spilling out of the cracks in the boards. I cannot appease them without further sacrifices, and I am not sure I have strength left to do so. I must convene with the Seekers for guidance. This does not bode well. Acheron has been drawing from the teachings of the Pale King, a book that is carefully monitored at Bleakhurst. It is said that the text within, fascinating though it is, can corrupt the reader's mind. If Acheron was attempting to reach the elders listed in the Forbidden Tome, then the situation is dire indeed. I think we can assume the worst. This room has clearly been used for dark rituals in the recent past. That much is obvious. No wonder Acheron sought to restrict entry here. If he was hiding his activities in the chapel, then what might await us in the other sealed chambers? Unlocking this room represents significant progress in our task. However, we must be cautious when following further in Lord Acheron's footsteps. It seems likely that the unfortunate fate of his family resulted from the father's reckless pursuit of occult power. Okay. The Pale King as well, the third installment here. One cannot speak with the Pale King without the countenance of his company. The custodian attends the gate to his house, but they will only grant entrance to those who hold the seals of the veils. The keepers of these tokens are Twilight Elders of many and varied forms. The Houndmaster, the Broodmother, the Seamstress, the Clockmaker, the Librarian, and countless others. These ascended entities dwell in the dusk-lit lands of the Veils. It is only by confronting these emissaries that acolytes can hope to placate the custodian and gain entry to the Pale King's chambers. Okay, well, let's calm down here. We have a simple offering, which is a task in the chapel. It can offer either a boost for the archive or the lab, or an inspiration as it's called. We got another dream candle, so honestly, let's do that straight away. Let's do this one as well. Who can do that? It's probably the doctor, yes. Although we don't necessarily really need it too much. We have the blood vial. So at the moment, we are looking for one more to do the opening eye. And I believe that is when the demo ends. When we do that. Let's read Vitali's journal. Scholar Vitali, apparently. Atticus is a simple thug. The man clearly has no understanding or appreciation of anything that he can't immediately hold or see. He is an unsophisticated bear, something that I might even find appealing in other circumstances, but I must remain focused on our task. An advocate for brains over brawn. We cannot ignore the fact that the vanishing is linked to occult practices, and as such, the dangers we may face will require us to use intellect as well as action. You are there, you are there. You are not really doing anything, so why don't you... right, basic meal, you need to go over here. I guess we can eat a meal. Why not? It is a task after all, but it's not something that's like super necessary, really. You can do that. The raw meat and the grain in there. This one can go there. Enough whittles for now. Yeah, I actually didn't get to read this one last time because I closed it because I just thought it was this. You have completed all the introductory steps provided. Well done. You should now be able to continue your investigations without assistance. If you get stuck, refer to this guide from the in-game menu. Match item attribute tags, blah 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 blah. Read item and room descriptions for hints. Yes, yes. Okay, so all this we've been doing. An echo once again. I guess that's Simon we are seeing. An icy shade. A flickering form, a sense of frozen fear. Something is here and also not here. Its flickering presence sends shivers through the air. Okay, well, let's get out of there. Got a vision of the cliffs. A drawing from a dream, hastily sketched on torn notepaper. I am standing in a sea of sallow grass. Maybe shallow? Maybe it's a mistake. The wind folding it around my feet in waves. A pale child, the Acheron's son, is here. He looks at me quizzically and then points towards the silhouette of a rocky granite outcrop on the distant bleak cliffside. When I turn back, he is gone, but the shape of the stones stays in my mind as I wake. Perhaps this is somewhere within sight of the mansion. Okay, let's have you finish. Good. Go in there. You might as well do that actually. We need the boost to do this. We'll see how much more we can do here. My voice is also getting quite battered here. Let's see what we get. This might be it. Yeah, there we go. Atlaxian bell. Right, he hit it. Yes, 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 yes. A small, bright bell with a dark, stained wooden handle. Its rim is engraved with glyphs of an unknown language, and the dark lettering seems to shift as you look at it. It might be wrong to herald. A hearse, or to welcome in a visitor, or both. This ritual bell was recovered from an Atlaxian burial site and brought to Black Sands during the Veld War. It is said that its chime can be heard by both humans and spirits. Items of occult power such as this might be enhanced given the right location and offerings. Support provides one extra chapel incantation. It is unique, it has infinite use, and it's upgradable. This one is single use. Yes, max 3 on board. That's fine. But even though there's an icy shade there, we should be able to do this now. Healing brew, why not? Is this enough? Yes, it is. And I believe we can actually, yeah, let's read Simon's journal here before we finish this. I did it. Pa forgot to use the machine to lock the chapel, so I sneaked in and I stole the bell. I took it out here to my den. It took a terrible long time as it was heavy to carry, and I am all tired and hurting from my sickness. I know I should not have taken it. Pa will be angry, but I don't want it to hurt him or Ma. And maybe leaving it out here will help me get well again too. I hope so. I'm sorry. Simon was just trying to help. Did get another dream candle, I suppose. I don't believe we'll get to do anything after we do this. Simon Acheron. Hello? Have you come to bring me back? I saw you open the window across the grey beach. It's so cold here and the locksmith has gone now, and I can't find my way back on my own. The wind's blowing through me like I'm made of webs. Please, I don't want to become any more empty. Well, that has been a look at the horror at Highrook. End of chapter. And the end of the demo. This is the end of the demo. Thank you for playing. The full game will feature more chapters, challenges, and revelations. Delve deeper into the mystery, overcome eldritch horrors, and discover the fate of the family. As always, if this is something you want to see more on the channel, leave a like and or a comment. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care.